All right, all right, all right. Testing, testing. Let's see if we up and running, man. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. All right, look like we up and running, huh? All right, all right, all right. Testing, testing. Let's see if
Yeah,
we up and
yeah,
running.
yeah, 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 yeah. I gotta learn how to do this thing again, baby. I ain't done it in a long, long time. All right. Mhm. Well, welcome back, everyone. All right, how is y'all doing, man? It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh yes, it will. All right, what's going on, my people, man? Welcome to the live stream. Hey, I said let me start back live streaming. Start watching some of these things that I be watching, and I be talking to myself about it, asking questions, and wish I had somebody to bounce some of these things off my thoughts and see what y'all thoughts are about these crazy ass people we got in this world. Sometimes I get to watching these little videos of like little crimes that people commit and things of that nature. I say little crimes, but they ain't all little. Let's start there. But I was watching some today of just people getting arrested for dumb shit, basically. Uh, Talking shit to the popos on traffic stops, just dumb stuff. That's the bag I was in today. The traffic stop bag. People getting arrested for talking shit and then regretting it. Some people didn't regret it. Some people stood by their shit talking. So that's that. But yeah, we're gonna get back in our bag, man. We back in our bag. Starting today, we back in our bag and we're gonna grind. See how things go. Um so welcome back, YouTube. I am glad to be back. I've been thinking about doing it for the longest and the longest and the longest, and I just never uh, got into my bag. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. Hopefully, I'm not still shadow banned through through YouTube, but I'm trying to give it a couple of minutes so we can get past all their little filters that they have. That way, we can get into our bag and get to watching this craziness, and also, you know, use whatever language we choose. How y'all been though? How y'all been? So I'm gonna turn this stream into a video too. So y'all gonna see me do introductions to the videos and then close out the videos as well. So just be aware of that. So whenever we do live streams, I will be jumping into my bag of hey, I gotta post this as well. So uh, that's uh, that's what we'll be doing here. All right, all right. So yeah, I wonder if I can record this and stream at the same time. I'm sure gonna try it on StreamYard. I see the options, but I don't know if that option is real and it's gonna cut y'all off or if I'm good. So we're gonna have to check it out. But we've been on for 3 minutes and uh, 3 minutes and 57 seconds. So we should be good to go. GTG. Let me pop out this chat. I bet that. All right. So I'm gonna hit this record button now. If it if everything shut down, just know it's not on me, cuz this is not on me. This is strictly YouTube. But give me 1 second. Let me check something else out real quick. Let me check something else out real quick. Like I said, your boy is a little rusty. But we're gonna get back in our bag. I just need to see if there's a different way for me to check out. I think I started my live. I think I started my live stream from. I should have started it from. YouTube, right? Let me see something here. Oh, okay, never mind. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I just need to be able to see how my chat, how my stream is doing. So yeah, all right, we good. We good. Okay, okay. I see it, YouTube. Got the new little settings here. All right. I like it. YouTube stepping up their game. Or stepped up their game from the last time I was a functioning YouTuber. Hold on, something ain't work right. Hold up. Yeah, showing that it is. All right. All right. So anyway, so I'm gonna hit this button, and we're gonna see if the live stream gets kicked off or not. And then we're gonna start our video, man. We're gonna jump right into it. Okay. All right. So here we go, my friends. We are about to jump into this video. So let's. Okay. Well, I can't change that now, YouTube. We in it. We are in. Can I change that? Hold on. 6,800. Let's see if that changes anything for YouTube. I didn't know I could change that midstream now. That's a lot of stuff that didn't change, my friends. I don't think the change is caught up with YouTube yet. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started no matter what. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, baby. Let's go. All right. So now, let's see. Start recording. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Chris, and we are back, man, with another video. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Can you believe it? I am back in the building, baby. I've been wanting to get back into doing videos for a minute now. So here we are, man. Start out the new year. We're going to get rolling. I've been watching a lot of these crime videos lately, so I said, man, sometimes I be thinking in my head like what other people be thinking while they watching the video at the same time while I'm watching it. So why not watch the video with y'all, and then y'all, we can have some feedback, you know? Now, if you want to watch it live with me, I am streaming live here on YouTube right now. But if you catching the video because you might be at work or whatever, then cool, that's fine too. No problems. But just to let y'all know, I will be streaming these on the daily, okay? So we'll get in 1 or 2 of these videos a day. And if y'all can't make it, don't worry. I got y'all. We'll be recording it at the same time. So that's a bet. Anyway, this one, man, that we're going to get into today is male nurse killed 3 women, man. And they said he thought he was going to get away with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and tap in and see what happened with this situation. And, you know, hopefully justice was served, right? They said he thought he got away with it, so I assume it is. Let's go ahead and get into the video, baby. Let's go. All right.
Him is quiet and reserved, never drawing. In spring 2014, Fulton County, Georgia became the hunting ground for what would later be revealed as one of the state's most calculated serial killers. The first indication of trouble came when 21-year-old Mariah Gaines disappeared from Atlanta's Edgewood district. Gaines, who had relocated from Birmingham, Alabama just 6 months prior, was working part-time at a local diner while trying to establish herself in the city. According to her roommate, Sarah Peterson, Gaines had been struggling financially but remained optimistic about her future in Atlanta. On May 3, 2014, at approximately 11:45 p.m., Gaines stopped at a Shell gas station on Edgewood Avenue to purchase cigarettes. The store clerk, James Martinez, later testified that she appeared nervous and kept checking her phone. Martinez was the last person to see her alive. At 12:03 a.m., Gaines made her final phone call to Peterson, mentioning she was getting a ride from someone she'd met earlier that evening. 2 days later, on May...
Ladies, that's a recipe for disaster. Why are we getting a ride with somebody we just met that same day? Red flag number 1.
5th, the Decatur Fire Department responded to a structure fire at an abandoned property that had been slated for demolition. After containing the blaze, firefighters discovered human remains in what appeared to be a deliberately set fire. The body had been doused in accelerant, making initial identification impossible. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation's forensic team spent 13 days conducting DNA analysis before confirming the remains belonged to Mariah Gaines. Detective Robert Schultz, the lead investigator, noted that the killer had taken precautions to destroy evidence. The fire had been strategically set, and chemical accelerants had been used to ensure complete destruction of trace evidence. This level of forensic...
Do you know what kind of psycho you have to be to go, I'm gonna assume, rape the girl and then kill her and then burn her to death? Now, I can't remember if they said burn her alive, but burned her to death. And you a male nurse, you need pussy that bad? I'm sorry, y'all. You got to get one off that bad, guy.
Awareness suggested the perpetrator had knowledge of evidence preservation techniques. The investigation might have remained focused on Gaines's case had it not been for the disappearance of 33-year-old Patrice Ward on June 18th. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos.
Check them out.
Ward, who had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2012, was a regular at the Mercy Haven homeless shelter in downtown Atlanta. Linda Matthews, the shelter's director, reported that Ward had been making progress in stabilizing.
Bro, we going after homeless women too, man? Nah, you just nasty. Like, that's just, you a nasty nigga, you know that?
Her life and
like, you just you a dirt bag, bro. To go after a homeless woman trying to get her life together? Come on, G.
Had recently secured part-time employment at a nearby grocery store. Ward was last seen by shelter volunteer Thomas King at 9:15 p.m. when she mentioned meeting someone who had promised to help her find permanent housing. Her body was discovered 44 days later, on August 1st, by maintenance workers at an abandoned warehouse in the industrial district. The crime scene revealed a significant escalation.
How did he even get access to that? Well, I guess it was an abandoned building, but he knows where to dump bodies and everything, bro. This is sad. This one in particular with her is sad because I lost, well, we don't know where she's at, but one of my church members that I grew up when I was a kid, yay high, Betty Polk, she had dementia and she had dementias or whatever and signs of dementia, but I guess she was functioning still. I don't know. And she left her house one night or one morning. I can't remember. One night, I guess. And it was probably around the summertime, this summer. And she drove off and no cameras caught which direction she went or anything. And she's still missing to this day, bro. Can't find the Lexus, can't find nothing. And we were canvassing, we were out, man, I'm talking about I was out in the middle of the night driving up and down the streets all around Dallas. Still haven't found it, so I'm assuming there's foul play, so that's why this kind of hit me a little bit.
And violence. Ward's body showed signs of prolonged captivity, with ligature marks on her wrists and ankles. Duct tape residue around her mouth and nose indicated she had been silenced, and forensic evidence suggested she had been strangled with a fabric ligature, later identified as a medical tourniquet.
Huh.
Medical examiner Dr. Elena Rodriguez documented several key findings that would later prove crucial to the investigation. Ward's body showed traces of hospital-grade sedatives in her system, specifically midazolam, a drug commonly used in medical procedures. This detail, combined with the professional-grade tourniquet used in her strangulation, provided the first indication that the killer might have medical training or access to hospital supplies.
Stupid.
The similarities between the Gaines and Ward cases were striking.
See, that's how you get caught, because you always going to have to use what's accessible to you, right? Especially those crazy psycho killer types. And sometimes that's going to be a dead giveaway to pinpoint who you are, or at least pinpoint the type of person that you are, or what field, or, construction sites, different things that they use kind of tells on themselves.
Both victims were vulnerable women who had recently experienced personal setbacks. Both had been last seen getting into vehicles with unknown individuals, and both bodies were disposed of in abandoned properties within the greater Atlanta area. Despite these connections, investigators lacked physical evidence linking the crimes to a specific suspect. The killer had been methodical in choosing victims who lived on society's margins, correctly assuming their disappearances would initially generate minimal attention from law enforcement. By late August 2014, the Fulton County Police Department established a task force dedicated to investigating what they now suspected were connected murders. Led by Detective Schultz and FBI Special Agent Karen Morrison, the team began re-examining every detail of both cases, unaware that the killer was already selecting his next target. The investigation would later reveal that 26-year-old Noah Trammell, a registered nurse at Grady Memorial Hospital, was responsible for the series of murders that terrorized the nurse at Grady Memorial. Would later reveal the killer was already selecting his next target. The investigation would later reveal that 26-year-old Noah Trammell, a registered nurse at Grady Memorial Hospital, was responsible for the series of murders that terrorized Atlanta in 2014. Trammell's colleagues described him as quiet and reserved, never drawing attention to himself during his 3 years of employment.
Is that him for real, bro?
His performance evaluations consistently rated him as exceptional, particularly noting his ability to remain calm during emergencies. However, Trammell's professional persona masked a disturbing reality. During police interviews, co-workers recalled instances that initially seemed insignificant but later proved revealing. Hannah Mitchell, a fellow nurse, remembered Trammell's unusual interest in terminal patients and his tendency to volunteer for cases involving unconscious individuals. Another colleague, Marcus Thompson, noted that Trammell often accessed the medication storage room outside his assigned shifts, though this was never reported due to his reputation for dedication to patient care. Investigation of Trammell's background revealed a pattern of concerning behavior dating back to his nursing school days. Former classmates reported his fascination with courses covering sedatives and manual restraint techniques. His internet search history, later obtained through warrant, showed extensive research into methods of subduing victims and disposing of evidence. Trammell's method of finding victims evolved over time. He maintained multiple dating app profiles under various aliases, specifically targeting women who posted about personal struggles or financial difficulties. He used his medical background to gain trust, often presenting himself as someone who could help with healthcare access or medication costs. The turning point in the investigation came on September 4th, 2014, when Trammell targeted 28-year-old Aaliyah Benton. Recently separated from her child due to custody issues, Benton was emotionally vulnerable when Trammell approached her through a dating app. They arranged to meet in Atlanta's Midtown district, where Benton picked him up in her vehicle. During the drive, Trammell convinced her to stop, claiming he needed to retrieve something from his bag. What followed revealed Trammell's typical attack pattern. He administered a sedative, likely obtained from the hospital's supplies. When Benton regained consciousness, she found herself restrained in the back seat of her own car. Trammell had bound her hands with zip ties and covered her mouth with duct tape, materials later found in bulk at his apartment. He proceeded to strangle her with a belt, a departure from his usual method of using medical tourniquets. Benton's escape proved crucial to understanding Trammell's methodology.
So he wasn't even having
Unlike
sex
his
with
previous
them.
victims,
He wasn't
she
leaving any
managed to
DNA
free
behind.
herself due to double-jointed fingers that allowed her to slip out of the restraints. She convinced Trammell she had money and drugs in her hotel room, appealing to what investigators would later identify as his desire for complete control over his victims. Upon reaching the hotel, Benton managed to escape into her room, where her friend immediately contacted law enforcement. Though Trammell evaded immediate capture, Benton provided law enforcement with vital information about his appearance, behavior, and vehicle. However, responding officers initially dismissed her account, viewing it as another incident involving a sex worker dispute. This oversight allowed Trammell to continue his activities unimpeded. The attack on Benton marked a significant escalation in Trammell's violence. Unlike his previous murders, which involved careful planning,
she was lucky. She got away. Blessed. Wow. That's tough.
And evidence disposal,
that's going to scar her
this
for a
attack
long
showed signs
time.
of impulsivity. Forensic psychologists later suggested this change in pattern indicated growing confidence and an increasing need for immediate gratification. Subsequent investigation of Trammell's apartment would reveal detailed journals documenting his victims' final moments. These writings demonstrated an obsession with power and control, particularly over vulnerable women. His medical training had taught him how to subdue victims efficiently, while his hospital position provided access to drugs and medical supplies used in the murders. The murder of 22-year-old Jada Holloway marked a critical shift in the investigation of Noah Trammell's crimes. Holloway, a junior studying nursing at Georgia State University, represented a departure from Trammell's typical victim profile. She maintained close relationships with her family, participated actively in her local church community, and worked part-time as a tutor while pursuing her degree. Holloway first connected with Trammell through a dating application in mid-November 2014. Their initial exchanges appeared ordinary, focusing on their shared interest.
This fool, man, can't even let this nigga that went and got his education and can't let this girl go get hers, man. That's sad, bro.
In healthcare. However, the conversation took an unexpected turn when Trammell offered Holloway $500 for an in-person meeting. Despite her initial hesitation, Holloway's mounting student loans and textbook expenses made the offer tempting. On November 21st, she sent Trammell what would become a prophetic message questioning if he was a serial killer. The exchange was later recovered from her phone records.
Go with your first thought. Go with your intuition. Your higher self is trying to preserve your thine self. Listen to that voice inside your head. It's letting you know. Don't question it. Don't question it. She should have just said no right after that.
On November 24th,
Damn.
Holloway borrowed her sister Michelle's car, telling her family she was meeting a study group. Security footage from her apartment complex showed her leaving at 7:15 p.m. This would be the last time she was seen alive. When Holloway failed to return that night and missed her morning classes the next day, her family immediately sensed something was wrong. Unlike previous victims whose disappearances went uninvestigated for days or weeks, Holloway's absence triggered immediate action. Michelle Holloway, along with their parents Robert and Angela Holloway, launched an aggressive campaign to find Jada. They contacted local media outlets, organized search parties, and mobilized their church community. The family's efforts generated significant public attention, forcing law enforcement to allocate more resources to the case. Local news stations ran regular updates on the search, and volunteers distributed flyers throughout metropolitan Atlanta. The intensive search ended tragically on December 3rd, when a group of hikers discovered Holloway's body in Cascade Springs Nature Preserve. The medical examiner determined she had been strangled with a medical tourniquet, matching the signature of previous murders. However, unlike earlier victims, Holloway's body showed signs of hesitation marks, suggesting Trammell had spent more time with her before the murder. The killer had also made minimal effort to conceal the body, merely covering it with leaves and forest debris. Forensic analysis revealed Holloway had been sedated with the same hospital-grade drugs found in previous victims. Her fingernails contained DNA evidence, indicating she had fought back against her attacker. The autopsy also showed she had been alive for several hours after the initial sedation, suggesting Trammell had held her captive before the murder. The Holloway family's persistent advocacy forced investigators to re-examine connections between various missing persons cases in the area. Their pressure on law enforcement, combined with media coverage, created a sense of urgency that had been absent in previous investigations. The family's detailed documentation of Jada's final communications and movements provided investigators with crucial timeline information. The discovery of Holloway's body also yielded unexpected physical evidence. Her killer had become careless, leaving behind traces of the medical supplies used in the murder. A partial fingerprint on the tourniquet would later match Trammell's hospital records. Additionally, soil samples from her clothing would help investigators locate where she had been held before her death. As the investigation intensified, the Holloway family took unprecedented steps to aid law enforcement. Their actions would ultimately lead to a breakthrough in the case, though not before they would face resistance from some law enforcement officials who initially dismissed their efforts as interference. The family's determination to find justice for Jada would prove instrumental in bringing Noah Trammell's killing spree to an end. The turning point in the Trammell investigation came through unconventional means. Michelle Holloway, frustrated by the pace of the official investigation, took matters into her own hands. Along with Jada's closest friends, Maria Suarez and Bethany Walker, they began examining Jada's digital footprint. The group discovered crucial evidence within Jada's dating app communications, revealing detailed exchanges with an account they suspected belonged to the killer. The investigation took a significant turn when Maria Suarez, who worked in IT security, managed to access Jada's computer. Through recovered data, they pieced together a pattern of communications that led them to Noah Trammell's dating profiles. The group noted his systematic approach. He would initially present himself as a healthcare professional interested in meaningful connection, then quickly pivot to offering money for in-person meetings. Acting independently, they created a profile mirroring the characteristics of Trammell's previous victims. Using knowledge gained from Jada's messages, they crafted a persona of a struggling nursing student facing financial difficulties. The plan worked better than anticipated. Trammell initiated contact within hours of the profile going live. Over several days, they maintained communication with Trammell, documenting every exchange. His messages followed the same pattern observed in conversations with Jada: professional interest, followed by financial offers, leading to requests for an in-person meeting. The group compiled this evidence and presented it to Detective Marcus Thompson, who had been working closely with the Holloway family. Thompson recognized the potential of their discovery, but also understood the risks of civilian involvement in an active investigation. He brought the evidence to the task force, leading to a coordinated operation with the FBI. Federal agents took over the online communication, maintaining the persona created by Jada's friends while developing a strategy to apprehend Trammell. The operation culminated on December 10, 2014. Trammell agreed to meet his supposed victim at a coffee shop in downtown Atlanta. When he arrived, expecting to find another vulnerable target, he instead encountered an undercover operation. FBI agents successfully took him into custody without incident, marking the end of his 84-day killing spree. The subsequent search of Trammell's residence revealed disturbing evidence of his crimes. Investigators discovered a hidden compartment containing medical supplies stolen from Grady Memorial Hospital, including various sedatives and syringes. His computer held meticulously organized files detailing each victim, including photographs and journal entries describing their final moments. Forensic analysis of Trammell's devices proved particularly damning. His phone's GPS history placed him at key locations connected to each disappearance and murder. Historical data revealed he had visited the sites where bodies were found multiple times, both before and after the murders, suggesting extensive planning and possible revisits to the scenes. The search also uncovered Trammell's research into murder techniques and body disposal methods. His internet history showed systematic studies of human anatomy, focusing on methods of strangulation and the effects of various sedatives. He had accessed medical databases through his hospital credentials to research drug combinations that would be difficult to trace. Most disturbing were his personal writings, which revealed an escalating obsession with power and control. Journals recovered from his apartment detailed his selection criteria for victims and his methodical approach to gaining their trust. He had created detailed profiles of potential targets, including their routines,
so what happened to him? That's what we
and
need to
social
get to.
connections. Investigators also found evidence linking Trammell to previously unknown missing persons cases.
Damn. Hold on.
His writings referenced additional victims who had never been reported missing, suggesting the true scope of his crimes might be larger than initially suspected.
Oh, shit.
The task
Nigga's
force
a psycho.
began reviewing unsolved disappearances dating back to when Trammell first began working at Grady Memorial. The arrest operation itself became a model for future investigations involving social media predators. The collaboration between civilian cyber investigation and official law enforcement demonstrated both the potential and risks of such partnerships. The task force's final report would emphasize the critical role played by the Holloway family's persistence, while also noting the dangers of civilian involvement in active criminal investigations. The prosecution's case against Noah Trammell built upon months of meticulous evidence gathering and forensic analysis. Following his arrest in December 2014, investigators spent weeks processing physical evidence from his vehicle and residence. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation's forensic team discovered blood traces in his car's trunk matching both Mariah Gaines and Patrice Ward.
That's raps, buddy.
Further examination revealed fibers consistent with the medical tourniquets used in the murders. Trammell's digital footprint provided prosecutors with crucial evidence. Despite his attempts to delete his communication history, FBI cyber analysts recovered messages exchanged with each victim. The recovered data showed a clear pattern. Trammell would initiate contact through dating apps, establish trust by leveraging his medical background, and then arrange meetings under the pretense of offering financial assistance. Hospital records proved particularly damning.
Same pattern. It was working.
Audit logs showed Trammell accessing medication storage areas during shifts when he had no assigned patients requiring those drugs. The quantities of missing sedatives corresponded with the toxicology reports from his victims. Multiple hospital employees testified about Trammell's unusual interest in working alone during night shifts and his habit of volunteering for assignments in isolated areas of the facility. The prosecution's timeline demonstrated Trammell's growing confidence and escalating violence. Medical examiner Dr. Elena Rodriguez testified that each murder showed increasing sophistication in the use of sedatives and restraints. The progression revealed
now they
Trammell
use a whole
refined
different
his
stock
technique,
photo. Lord.
using his medical knowledge to ensure his victims remained conscious but unable to resist. Aaliyah Benton's testimony proved pivotal to the prosecution's case. As the only surviving victim, she provided first-hand account of Trammell's methodology. Benton described how he maintained a calm, professional demeanor even while attacking her, speaking in measured tones as he explained what he was doing. Her description matched journal entries found in Trammell's apartment, where he had documented his desire to maintain control over his victims' final moments. Financial records revealed Trammell's careful preparation. He had purchased multiple prepaid phones, using different identities each time. Bank statements showed cash withdrawals near the locations where victims were last seen. The prosecution demonstrated how he had created a system designed to avoid detection, using his knowledge of law enforcement procedures to minimize evidence. The forensic psychology team's assessment of Trammell's journals provided insight into his motivation. The writings revealed a profound sense of power derived from controlling life and death, often referencing his hospital work. Entries described in detail how he selected victims, choosing women he believed society had forgotten. His writings displayed no remorse, instead showing pride in his ability to operate undetected. DNA evidence recovered from Jada Holloway proved especially crucial. Despite Trammell's usual caution, he had left trace evidence under her fingernails during their struggle. This physical evidence directly linked him to her murder and corroborated the pattern of violence described in his journals. The DNA match probability was astronomical, effectively eliminating any doubt about his involvement. The prosecution built their case methodically, demonstrating how Trammell had used his position
I'm
as a
mad I
nurse
couldn't
to
find this
facilitate his
case.
crimes. They presented
So it's
evidence
kinda
of him
throwing me
researching
off.
patient backgrounds, identifying
Let's
those
get to the
with
end
limited
because
social,
they
outwardly
give a lot of
professional
details,
demeanor.
but
Their statements revealed subtle warning signs that had gone unnoticed, his preference for working with unconscious patients,
they went
gaps
through
in
that
the
already.
system. Medical experts testified about the sophisticated combination of drugs Trammell had used to subdue his victims, and numerous charges related to the misuse of medical substances. Judge Patricia Marshall, before delivering the sentence, addressed Trammell directly. She spoke about the particular betrayal of a healthcare worker using their knowledge to harm rather than heal. She emphasized how his actions had not only destroyed lives, but had damaged the trust people place in medical professionals. The sentencing reflected the severity of Trammell's crimes. He received multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole to be served consecutively. Additional years were added for the attempted murder of Aaliyah Benton and the various drug-related charges. The judge ordered that all his medical licenses be permanently revoked. As a result of this case, several hospitals in Georgia implemented stricter protocols for tracking controlled substances and monitoring staff access to medication storage areas. The Fulton County Police Department developed new guidelines for investigating missing persons cases, eliminating biases that had initially allowed Trammell to avoid detection. Trammell was transferred to Georgia State Prison, where he remains in maximum security confinement. His case continues to be studied by law enforcement and medical ethics boards as an example of how traditional background checks and professional monitoring systems can fail to identify dangerous individuals in positions of trust.
Didn't see anything about that guy, so I have no idea if this is real or if it's fake. I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. Yeah, and I was looking forward to this one. I thought this one was gonna be lit, but it wasn't. I didn't like it. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down from here, man. What I want to say is don't forget to like, subscribe. We're gonna have way better videos than this. I promise you. This one lost me so bad because I can't verify anybody in this story while it was going on. So yeah. Until next time, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the notification button that you can get, that way you can get alerted whenever we drop a video. All right, we'll be out, and I'll catch you on the next one, baby. Peace. Oh man. So yeah, guys, that was that. That was complete trash, if you ask moi. But what I will say is that it's only up from here when it comes to those videos, because that video was complete garbage. And that's on me. But I usually don't like to watch the videos beforehand, but now I see why people watch. You know what? I did watch like the first minute, and it was intriguing at first. Just like it was intriguing when we got into it. Ooh, sure. It was like it was intriguing when we got into it, but as we went on, we saw how trash it was. So I don't, as far as I don't know if the stories was real or not. That's what kind of threw me off on the whole situation. But until next time, baby, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. It's 6 o'clock. Get ready to feed these children, cook or do something. I don't know what I'm about to do, but it was fun. It's get to exercise the muscles again. So.